The things I brought home. People think war follows you as memories, faces, names, explosions replaying in the head. But what came home with me were habits. I always choose the chair with my back to the wall, even in my own kitchen, even when the only enemy is a refrigerator humming like an old dog. A door slams 2 houses away and my shoulders answer before my mind does. My son drops a spoon and I stand up without knowing why. These are not memories. They are instructions my body refuses to delete. At night I don't sleep. I patrol the mattress. 3 hours at a time, never more. I wake up counting exits in a house I built myself. I know which floorboard complains, which window breathes colder than the rest. My wife says, "You're safe here." I nod the way men nod at weather they can't change. Safety is a language my muscles never learned. I brought home the habit of scanning faces. At the grocery store, at church, at my daughter's graduation. I read hands before I read smiles. I measure distance the way other men measure time. No one taught me how to stop. I also brought the habit of silence. Not the peaceful kind, the careful kind. The kind that weighs every word like it might explode. My family fills the house with ordinary noise. Dishes, television, laughter. I move through it like a guest afraid to touch the furniture. They think I'm calm. What they see is discipline. What I feel is a storm wearing a seatbelt. The worst habit is pretending to be normal. I rehearse simple answers. I'm fine. Long day. Just tired. My daughter once asked, "What are you thinking about?" I told her nothing. It was the heaviest lie I owned. I learned to eat fast, to finish before the story turns ugly. Now, even at birthday dinners, I'm done before the candles understand their job. My wife chews slowly, talks between bites, tells me about the neighbor's new dog. I watch the door behind her head like it owes me money. These habits don't announce themselves. They move in quietly, hang their coats in your closet, start paying half the rent. One morning I realized I hadn't taken a real breath in years. I breathe like a man borrowing air. I brought home the habit of carrying weight that has no handle, guilt without a shape, gratitude that hurts the teeth. People thank me for my service and I don't know where to put their kindness. There is no shelf for that in the garage. The world kept normal hours while I was away learning abnormal ones. Now noon feels like midnight. Fireworks sound like Christians. Crowded rooms feel like narrow bridges. My son asked me to teach him to drive. I taught him to check mirrors first, to leave space, to never assume the other car is kind. He said, "Dad, you worry too much." I almost told him worry is the only medal I kept. The truth is simple and ugly. I don't live in the past. The past lives in my posture, in the way I sit, in the way I love, in the way I wait for things that never come. Sometimes I imagine meeting the man I was before. He would walk straight through me like smoke through a screen door. My wife once said I missed the version of you that laughed louder. I wanted to tell her I'm still here, just speaking in a different weather. But the words lined up at my throat and refused to cross the border. So I washed the dishes instead. Another habit. Maybe healing isn't a ceremony. Maybe it's just learning new routines. Sitting with my back to the window for once, letting a noise stay only a noise. Sleeping long enough to dream about ordinary things. I don't know how to uninstall the old man inside me, but I'm trying to teach him new tricks. If you met me on the street, you wouldn't see a battlefield. You'd see a quiet guy holding groceries, waiting for the light to change, counting steps without knowing it. That's the part nobody tells you. War doesn't end. It changes clothes and moves into your house. And the bravest thing I do now is not fighting. It's staying.